Hello, beautiful souls. So, we're here today to talk about emotions and feelings. I know that those can be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes to process and talk about, but that's what we're going to talk about here. This video really came about from a class my husband and I were teaching, and the class was part coaching and part hypnotherapy on losing weight. Now, a lot of the components of losing weight is about processing emotions. So that was talked about a lot in the class, and it just opened up so much discussion. So I thought I'd bring it to y'all via video. Now, I want everyone, if you're in a safe place, to just sit in a comfortable position and relax your body for a moment. Close your eyes and let go of any extra thoughts that may be popping in. Take a deep breath and release. Another deep breath and release. I don't want you to rush your answer, but I want you to let surface any emotions coming up. Are there any emotions that you're trying to push away right now? I want you, if you can, if you're in a safe place, to write that word down, a phrase or a sentence that best describes what you're feeling. Make sure you're not labeling the thoughts such as my brain won't stop or I can't get focused. I want you to put on I'm feeling love, or I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling confused, I'm feeling anxiety, I'm feeling lonely. Don't judge it. Just put it down. Just write it down. Now, the function of emotions is to tell us about our internal world. Just as our senses, our eyes, feelings provide guidance about our external world, feelings are really here to give us guidance on our internal world. Now, if we pay attention to them, and if we use our feelings correctly and process them, they can really help us live and prosper. The bottom line is that both physical and emotional health are required to ensure the success of your life here on earth as a human. And the sooner we can start recognizing the emotions going through our body and processing them properly, the better we'll be doing that more efficiently. So you can check in if you're feeling drawn to eat something unhealthy, if you're feeling drawn to do something unhealthy, to self medicate in some way. Stop and feel exercise. Now, how do you stop and feel? You put your hand on your chest and put your other hand on your solar plexus or your stomach, kind of where your gut instinct comes from, and just feel that feeling for a moment. If you're headed to eat something unhealthy, what are you feeling? What emotion are you trying to curb? What emotion are you not wanting to process, but you wanting to distract yourself from? Feelings belong to our primitive defense system and are rooted in our collective biology. And they are think about this, they're a neurological biochemical reaction to what is happening in our bodies on a cellular level and in response to stimuli. Feelings, emotions don't require thinking. They just occur. Instant information that we're getting when we feel an emotion. Now, how do you know that you are feeling an actual feeling, an emotion? They don't require thinking. You know you're experiencing emotion when you are not sick and your body, especially some of your major organs like your heart or lungs, stomach, is having a strong physical stimuli. For example, all of a sudden you're getting a dry throat, you're having shortness of breath, queasiness, outside of any medical conditions. You're feeling flushed, you're just really having an inability to concentrate. I always liken, no matter how many times I have done some form of public speaking for my entire life, just about as an adult. And no matter how many times I go on stage, whether it's to do motivational speaking, whether it's to do platform, I will still get, a queasy butterflies in my stomach. My heart will start pumping. And that is in a direct response to the emotion, the anxiety of about to go on stage and have to perform. Now, I also want people to think about some of the secondary emotions that can cause us discomfort, can cause us some angst. Think about you see your friend, just you love and adore your friend, and something fabulous has happened to them, and you just really should be happy for them, but instead you're a little jealous. then instantly you get angry at yourself for being jealous of your friend. Or, you have taken that cigarette, smoked it, you didn't want, you're trying to quit, or you ate that tub of ice cream and you really felt like that you shouldn't have, then you can be ashamed of your self destructive behavior. This is secondary emotion. Now, how do you manage these emotions? What's one of the most effective ways to manage feelings and emotions? The most effective way to manage these feelings and emotions is by altering the beliefs that underlie them. Think about that. Cognitive therapy, behavioral therapy, is based on the principle that your beliefs create your feelings and your feelings produce your behaviors. Think about that. The goal of feelings is to understand them and with solid judgment come up with a sound plan. Now think about this. Your feelings are giving you an internal radar. They're giving you information. Now your job is to take those feelings along with some sound judgment and come up with a good plan. Feelings are just feelings. They're information, just as colors are colors and words are words. They're information. They're neither good or bad. It's our reaction, how we process those feelings that can come up and be good or bad. Feeling a certain way and acting a certain way are really two completely different things. Now, think about this. Have you ever been angry? Let's say you grew up seeing your parents behave in an angry manner, and when they were upset, they took their anger out on you or someone else by screaming, yelling, maybe even pushing, hitting, some of those negative components. Now, you are feeling anger. You're feeling anger at a spouse or a friend or your child. You don't do any of those things. You don't do any of the screaming and yelling, but in your head, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so angry right now. My head's about to explode. So now all of a sudden, you're feeling guilt and self condemnation because of how you felt when your parents were behaving that way. You didn't act on those emotions of anger, but you are being triggered back to the moment where you saw someone else acting out in that way. And you're carrying that guilt and the shame from witnessing someone else doing it when you never acted on that feeling. So it's two different things. Just feeling the anger and acting on it are two different things. Also, I want you to think, our strive in our society right now, we all strive to feel good all the time, of course. Wouldn't it be great to feel good all the time? It's simply not possible. It's simply not possible to just feel joy and good and all the great feelings all the time. Sigmund Freud's pleasure principle says that we move towards pleasure and away from pain. Now, that makes perfect sense. And I know it's a very well-known principle because it comes from Sigmund Freud, but really it's common sense. Of course, as humans, we're going to move away from pain and towards pleasure. And of course, as humans, we do prefer the enjoyable feelings such as joy and delight and excitement and love, as opposed to the more distressing ones such as hate or remorse, powerlessness. Of course, it makes perfect sense. But think about this on a deeper level. What are those feelings telling us? They're just information. All feelings were created equal. But if you were, as a child, if you were scolded for expressing what your family considered the negative emotions, for expressing your anger, and weren't shown a proper way to express it, or sadness, you should be happy. Look what we just got for you. You should be happy. Were ever told that? Or even crying. This is a big one, especially for men. If you were ever scolded, you're not a baby. Stop acting like a baby. Stop crying. Then you were not told or shown how to properly express those emotions. So they're going to make you feel uncomfortable. If you have anger come up, or sadness, or even crying, and you weren't taught to properly express those emotions, then they will absolutely give you some discomfort. And that's when we can tend to go to the junk food or do something inappropriate. If you haven't been taught to express these emotions in a healthy manner, then these emotions can give you some distress. Emotions are natural and they provide you with information about yourself. So please start this next little while, whenever you feel like you can muster it up, to start writing down your emotions and processing them. Are you feeling anger? Anger is not a bad emotion, it's information. Is this anger telling you to work on your jealousy of your friend? Is this anger prompting you into positive movement to make a change for something that you feel like is going wrong in your community or in your life? Are you feeling just some helplessness to make a plan and start reaching goals? So start using your emotions as information, and step away from the judgment of it. Give yourself grace. Give yourself grace to be able to sit with those emotions and really understand what they're telling you internally.